one more episode of Askamentor. The reason why we do this episodes is to make sure that every entrepreneur, just by watching this, gets ahead in his journey of entrepreneurship. Saying that, I welcome Mr. Sovan back to the show. How are you doing, Sovan?
I'm doing great, Kashyap. How are you? Thank you so
Good.
much.
So, what is prospecting?
Okay, so what is prospecting? Okay, this is a very good question, and um, I can understand why this question must be coming from various startup owners and all, right? So, and it's a very common word which many people use, and many people try to understand as to what exactly it is all about, right? So, prospecting in the most simplest terms is sorting or finding your right customer, finding your
Hmm.
right customers who is going to buy your product or a service, right? So that is the essence of doing the prospecting. Now, when we say finding your right customer or sorting from all the people who are available, who are your suspect list or a suspected customers, from there you are trying to figure out the right customers, and for that you do the prospecting, right?
Hmm.
And prospecting essentially involves asking the right questions. How do you figure out, that who is a lion versus a sheep, from the sound, right? Now, if you have not seen, let's say you are not seeing them, seeing lion and sheep, from the sound you can make out, right?
Hmm.
So how do you make out whether you have the right customer? Obviously, when you ask questions and when you get the right answers, when you're getting the answers, then you can figure out that yes, this customer is the right customer for me, for my startup, for my business, for my products and services. So that is all about doing prospecting, which means that prospecting means meeting a lot of people, meeting a lot of customers, asking them the right questions, doing the diagnosis, right? How do we do the diagnosis? Now, how does a doctor figure out, what is the problem for the patient? The doctor asks the right questions, understands what is going on in the patient's life, okay, and then figure out what is the problem, and then gives the right solution, right? So here, from the startup context, we have to ask the right questions, understand what the customer needs, and whether the customer needs are being fulfilled by my solution that I have. And once that match is there, and that is when you know that, okay, I have done the right prospecting, okay, and I've identified the right customer, and then you go for the next step, which is giving your solution which is applicable for your customer.
Hmm. So exactly, I think the now what Sohan is trying to say, guys, is if somebody says who is your customer, if somebody says everybody is my customer, then he's not clear. He's not clear, and he's wasting his time with the wrong people. Not everybody needs an Apple phone, for example. So there are certain type of people who like Apple phone, and there is a certain type of people who might like a Samsung phone. The idea is for you to identify who are your Apple customers so that you can go and sell your Apple product.
True, very true. So that is about the customer segmentation, right? So we identify who are my customer segments, who are
Hmm.
the which segment of my customers I am addressing, right? And once you have your customer segmentation in place, now it does not mean that everybody is going to buy the products and services from you, because there are other products and services which are available in the market. Now, to go and pitch your product and services, you will do the prospecting, you will identify whether this is the right customer who is going to buy my products and services, and you position it. You position, and the customer understands that the solution is available with you, and then the customer buys it from you. So that is the whole process it goes.
Hmm. Absolutely. So I think one more part to this is typically, a certain segment of customers behave in a certain segment way. So now it is very essential that you identify that one target customer of yours, so that you can map similar people who might think in a similar way and whose needs, desires, and aspirations are similar to your prospect number one, isn't it so?
True, very, very true. Now let's take example of Tata Nano and Mercedes Benz, right? So the customer group of customers, or the segmentation of the customer itself, is completely different, right? So Tata Nano is, budget, the budget segment, people who want to own car but not able to own car, but they want to get something like that within their budget, and that's why that is a separate segment. Now Mercedes Benz is a completely different customer segment. So that is about the segmentation part. And then the obviously once you have identified, that is absolutely what Kashyap is mentioning. That is the right step to first identify your customer segment. Once you know your target customer, target market, and then you go to the next steps of doing the prospecting.
Hmm. Absolutely. So like you can use some tools, guys, like for example, now how do you know if the bigger set of people would be interested? Now by throwing a hook is what we call, like, if you throw a hook, and if certain types of fishes fall to that, that these are the certain type of fishes who might be interested in your follow on products. Now that is when you create your prospect list. Now you have to create a list from where you can upsell your products.
True. Now hook. What is a hook in our context is again asking the right questions, which is again prospecting. So that is the
Absolutely.
hook, right? Positioning. Like let's take example of coffee day. Now coffee day, a lot can happen over coffee. That's a hook. It's a hook where the customers they go initially when coffee day opened. Now a lot of people must be thinking that what happens in coffee day. Let's go and try it out, right? So that's
Right.
the hook.
And also, talking of which, now that hook everybody may not be interested in, because if let's say 60-plus-year-old, he doesn't care what happens over a cup of coffee. There's only certain set of people, in the 20s and 30s. They're curious about what happens over a cup of coffee, because they are in this zone of dating and trying new things.
Right. So that's the hook. And then, so hook is not just about this tagline. It is also about how you brand, how you position your products and services, how you look in the target market. Okay. And that gives you a lot of customers coming in. That's the inflow of the traffic which comes to your website, to your company. And that's when you go to the next level from there.
Right. So we have a lot more to cover. Obviously, the time is not enough. So thank you so much for a lot of value, Sovan, and thank you. And until next episode, guys, we would like to know what you thought about this episode. What is your way of prospecting? Did we miss something? Did you like what we spoke today? Please let us know. Again, thank you so much, Sovan.
Thank you so much, Kashyap, and have a great time.
Thank you. So, guys, please like, comment, and share. You know what to do on YouTube, right? Hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much.
Bye bye.